Hello, everyone, and welcome to Big Cat Sports. We are going over the first round of the NHL draft. The Wings not trading pick 17 for anything, and instead drafting somebody. But we'll go with the ninth pick first. So, with the ninth pick, they drafted Nate Danielson. I did mention him before in a previous video that they were looking at him. It turns out they decided they wanted to draft him. A little bit higher than people thought, but at 6'1", 184, he shoots right and plays center. For the most part, he is a fast, intelligent center. He was on a weak Kings team, but he did have 76 points through 63 games, that being 32 goals and 44 assists. He is a very good playmaker. He doesn't take a lot of shots, but the shots he does take typically go in the net, and he tries his best to make plays. What do you think about that first draft pick?
Well, I mean, it's a Steve Eiserman kind of, nobody had this guy in the top 10. They had him anywhere between, I think one that had him in the top 10. It was the NHL Pro Scouting, um, anywhere between 7 and 26. He's got great size, um, and he's a two-way player, which Steve Eiserman likes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think fans are going to be too happy with it, but
Not initially, I don't
But
think.
who the heck cares? I mean, like I said, who knows these guys? The NHL is not like the NFL draft in the sense that we really, I mean, unless you're an extreme hockey nerd, there's no telling how good you got to leave it up to the experts and the people who scout these guys. He has great size from what he said, and he has great stats. I mean, so I'm not too upset with it.
No, he should be good. I mean, I would assume you draft him ninth, you're expecting him to be on the team next year, or at
Right.
least pretty close to being on the team. Depending on who they sign, this gives you a great indication of what the offseason will entitle. Less trades. I don't expect them to trade any picks the rest of the draft. I think they are going to pick uh, with every last draft pick they have in this draft. They're not going to trade anything. We're going to have a good young future coming up in the next couple of years. Um, but he will. I think Danielson will be a good player. Uh, just give it time, just like everybody else. He might not be immediately an impact, but I do think he will be a decent player. Uh, yeah, anything else on that?
Like you said, give it time. I don't think people want to give it any more time. I think people are kind of tired of waiting. This guy won't be ready for probably 3 years. So, that's what's kind of disheartening is this team. Uh, I don't know. Like I said, I mean, the first pick was supposed to be one of those type of players anyway. So,
Yeah.
you know,
So, and going into our next pick with the 17th pick, we didn't end up trading it, even though we thought it might happen. We might end up getting the Brinket, but instead we drafted a defenseman, Axel Sandin Palikia, out of Sweden. So we have another Swedish player coming to Detroit, 5'11", 181. He's a right-handed shooting defenseman, and he is apparently a very, very good offensive defenseman. They said he might be one of the better defensemen in the draft. I think that is something you need. You need a good defenseman on the line. And I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to still trade for somebody like Carlson, and still beef up that defensive line. But again, he's in the first round. There's a chance he's up next year
I
playing, but maybe not as much. You might have a year to develop in Grand Rapids, but I think there's a good chance he might be up.
man, I don't think you'll see either of these players up. I mean, they're both. I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed that we didn't get to Brinkat, and we still have Steve Eiserman saying that we're not at the point where that we could go for it, that we're still far away. People don't want to hear that.
No.
People aren't going to have the patience for that. They wanted to see him do something. Listening to the radio today and listening to how people were talking, they're going to be disappointed with this pick. They're going to be disappointed with Steve Eiserman. I don't think he cares
No.
because I think he thinks he has carte blanche or something to take 20 years to build a hockey team. And I think that's what irritates people, the attitude he has, and when he says things like that, like he has no sense of urgency at all. Like he doesn't even give a crap that it's going to take 10 years. But like I said, we've talked about this before in previous videos. This is Chris Ilitch's team and Steve Eiserman's, and it's the debate whether or not these guys actually really even care to win. Are they doing anything to stir the fans' interest? They certainly haven't stirred my interest with this pick. I'm sure the kid's good. I'm sure in a few years, maybe he will develop into something, but 5'10", 170 pounds.
That's the one thing that they have, they say, is his biggest knock against, is that his size and lack of strength. Like, he's not going to be weak, but he's just not a big guy. So maybe he beats off a little bit, but probably doubtful on that. But honestly, with Eiserman, I've been content. It's only been his team by himself for about 2 years now, getting off of all those bad Holland contracts. And you have improved. It's not like you haven't improved. You're a 500 team currently. And next year you should be better. Now, like I said, Saturday is the opening for free agency. If he's calm on Saturday, that's going to show you exactly how the season's going to go.
Do you think they have a shot at DeBrincat now that they did not trade them?
No, they're not going to go for it.
So they're just going to get, mid-level guys who really aren't going to.
I think there's a chance they could try and sign somebody.
Again, you do not have on this team a single elite hockey player. Not anybody.
That's not saying they won't sign somebody. But I've always said you need better defense anyways. I think if you focus on defense, I am fine with that. We'll see what ends up happening with that. But defense needs to be a focus, in my opinion, more than scoring. You do need at least one scorer. I do say that. But I feel defense is a big priority, goaltending a little bit. But
I mean, it wouldn't bother me, except for, like I said, I keep repeating it. There is nobody on this team that you could say is an elite player. A lot of good players, but no elite players. And you're not going to get into the playoffs without some elite players. Teams have passed us by. Buffalo, Ottawa. We are not.
Chicago.
Oliver Moore just took Jesus. So they got Oliver Moore
and Bedard,
and they got Bedard. So I don't know. I don't know what to say about I don't mind the Nate Danielson pick because I think that pick was for the future anyways, the 9th pick. But I think people are going to be really upset that they didn't make a deal for DeBrincat or somebody.
They're going to be upset now, but it's a wait and see because these guys might be what you need.
All right, I'll come back in 3 years and see if these guys are really good. That's the problem with hockey drafts. You can't get too excited about them because other than a guy like Bedard, you don't know what these guys are going to develop into. It's all guess. It's all speculation. And you just hope for the best. But I know the Wings fans, at least as far as I'm concerned, we're tired. We're tired of the rebuild. We're tired of the same old every year. We're tired of not. I don't see them having, at least at this point. We'll wait and see who they pick up in free agency. I don't see them having a chance in hell in getting to the playoffs. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll end up seeing what happens. We'll see what happens.
Disappointing night, but no.
I ain't disappointed. I actually don't mind either pick. I am perfectly content. I mean, you make the playoffs for 25 straight years, you're going to have some downtime. You're not going to immediately be back, and it's what to expect. So, with that being said, though, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, share the video, and until next time, hope to see everybody soon.
All right, bye.